Hello and welcome back to the No Excuses podcast. My name is Anne and I live in the middle of Worcestershire in England with my husband Tom. And today is Friday the 22nd of November. It's about just gone 3:30. I think the light is failing fast, so I need to get on with this. Might be me going again. And this is episode 88. Welcome back and welcome to any new viewers. Thank you for your continued support. I will have to slurp coffee as we go on. I'm hoping the light's going to be good enough. I've turned my ring light up, but you might get a lot of it in the glasses. I mean, I say this every time. You don't come here for the professional finish, and as long as you know that, then that's fine. We can all get along very well. So, how are you and what have you been doing in the last nearly 3 weeks since I've seen you? I hope you're okay. I've been in touch with a lot of you. I've sent all the bags out now. I've got some pouches to make for 2 people and I'm hoping to get that done. I'm out tomorrow, Sunday and Monday, Tuesday-ish. Hoping to meet up with Penny and Madly if I did tell them a day. I keep forgetting to message them back. Yeah, I'll get on with that because I want to get them off in the post before the mad Christmas rush happens. I will say, I mean, I sent the mail prize to Janine in Australia and it's got there already. And I don't think it's even taken 2 weeks. Or if it has 2 in like 15, 16 days at the most. I sent 1 to Canada and 2 to the US mainland, and the Canadian one I've not heard back from yet, but the 2 in the US have got there safely, and they were all used with economy post. So although it is expensive, and I will say that the rate of exchange between the British postage and the US and Canada in particular is not very favourable to them at the moment. But yeah, it worked, and that's the main thing. I think I might change that everybody enters the malls, but I might change to pattern prizes for people across the pond. Not across the pond. I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, maybe. Depends what the giveaway or whatever is concerned. But I was quite pleased that I would manage to send a package to Janine, but it didn't have the normal stuff I would want to put in there. I'd normally want to put a bit more in, a few bits and pieces. Anyway, it is what it is. Don't start doing funny voices, Anne. All the places you can contact me are below, and we have 2 make-alongs running. We had, I think for the 3rd year running, the jump-along, and the details are below, and that ends at the end of March next year, 2025. And then there's the double along, which is where you are holding 2 yarns double, which I'm doing a lot of at the moment, or colourwork. So yeah, again, everything's down there to know if your item qualifies. I might do a bit of a giveaway either just before the end of the year or just maybe in the new year when things are a bit slow. But yeah, as a form of de-stashing a little bit. I have got some incoming. Well, my mum made me buy one of them. And then Susan, you know who you are, Susan, enabled me. Well, I'm not blaming her, but anyway, we'll talk about it in a bit. Right, what's finished? When I'm editing, I never give myself enough space between talking to actually stop it at a sensible place. Anyway. This is my mother-in-law's annual Christmas cardigan. It is the same pattern that I use every year. It's a King Cole one. I can't recall, but it's just a basic chunky pattern. I'll put the pattern name on the page and the number. I think it's still available. I downloaded it from the Wool Warehouse. It's a and I've just done it in stocking stitch this time. Ribbed cuffs and pockets, because she likes pockets. When you see the pocket, of course you can't. There's the pocket. And then I've done a crochet. Oh, everything's falling off because I haven't got enough room. A crochet edging there, which incorporates some buttonholes if you can find them. There's a buttonhole. So I've done a crochet edge because I was getting fed up with the wall. I've just spent nearly an hour, well, about 3/4 of an hour, tidying up to make space to record. And I'm still not there. So there's going to be a lot of editing. I knitted the cardigan in King Cole Timeless. Now that's looking back to front to me. Better not, you know. If this is back to front, I'm going to be really annoyed. It hasn't done that yet to me, this camera. Anyway. I'll tell you right at the beginning if it's back to front. So hopefully it isn't. But this is King Cole Timeless. It's 90% premium acrylic and 10% alpaca. It's machine washable. Don't iron it. But you can tumble dry it and cool. And it says use 6mm needles, which the pattern calls for anyway for chunky. But if you can see, it's got a definite twist to it. So it's 2 strands that are twisted. This is the colourway 2915 Rosebud. And that looks fairly true to the colour. I wasn't keen. I normally use Stylecraft Chunky. I have for the last couple of years since she said she'd rather not have... She didn't say she'd rather not have merino or wool. But she said she wants she can do the housework in and, you know. So I think this is the maybe the third or the fourth year that I've done an acrylic-based cardigan. The previous 2 years I've just used a chunky acrylic and it's worked fine. But this year I've done that in the Timeless because I thought it sounded nice, the alpaca. But it's knit up quite tight on the same needles. So the jumper, the cardigan, is slightly smaller when I measure it across. I don't think I can easily block it, but I am going to try and spritz it and pull the fronts down because at the moment the fronts are curling up a bit where I've crocheted them, and although I can pull them quite easily into shape, I think they just need a bit of coaxing. I've taken I bought 6 balls. I've got one whole one and a little bit left, so probably yeah, I bought the right amount. I'd rather have one over than have to order another one. Well, I'm pleased that's finished and off the needles. It took me 10 days to do, so not very long at all. And the only other thing, the finished object, I mean, I made most of the bags since I've last seen you and got them away. But the next thing, the only other thing that I've made, that I've finished, is this huge bag. I've been saving this gorgeous print. It's not the sort of thing I'd wear, but I like it. It was I can't remember what it is. I think it's a Riley Blake, but it's got coordinated. They all the fabrics, the stripe that you can see around there, around the zip, and inside there is the check, and then there's a darker check on the end of their part of sort of zip tabs. I dread zips for some reason. I don't, you know, this has gone in fine. Yeah, and I think, and then I've done a binding, cut the binding properly as bias binding, joined it up, and I sewed it on the machine. It's a double fold one, and I hand stitched it on one of the sides to complete it, and it's also diagonally, just very, I don't know if you can see that, diagonally quilted as well, because I've used Bosal foam, which I love. I love the feel of it. And in here at the moment I've just got some smaller pieces of fabric that and bits and pieces, and I'm going to use it as a storage bag for scraps of material. So I'm quite pleased with that. It's humongous. I just added a bit of macrame cord, the stuff I use as the drawstring on my bags, to put as a zip pull. So that's my only 2 finished items. Bearing in mind I've made about 12 bags as well. You know, I've been busy, sort of. Probably why I've not done anything in the last about 10 days actually, is because I was busy beforehand. So let's get on to progress. Sorry, I keep popping up in different parts of the... Let me have a wiggle. Different parts of the screen, because I've got such a lot around me at the moment that I can't move. Nothing's ever going to get better. Progress. As you know, well, if you're a long-time viewer, you will know. Oh, I was looking for that a few minutes ago. A zip pouch with stationery in. See, can't see the wood for the trees. I've taken part in the 12 cast-ons that Ange of Yarn and Yarns does every year. I've taken part in that now for the last 2 years, I think. And one of the cast-ons was the Dohne Shawl, which I've kept in here. Little rabbit bag. No, it's got no tag on it, but I think it's Saffron Blue that made it. Can't remember the lady's name. Don't know if she's trading at the moment, but I'll just show you the yarns I'm using for this shawl. I think it's a free pattern. It's by Gretha Mensen on Ravelry, and this is from Quack Yarn. And I haven't altered any of the settings on the camera, so it shouldn't be back to front. And it's called Light Stone. It's a marine, oh no, it's a BFL, sorry, high twist, 100% BFL. And as you can see, it's a very light, it's a cream, probably base colour mainly, with a very light, not a speckle, but very light variegation to it. And I'm knitting that up with, I've got 2 skeins of that, and I'm knitting it up with, and this would qualify for the double long, I can't say it, no, I'm not saying it. Shut up, Sal, stop laughing. This is Drops Kidsilk, and this is the vanilla colourway. So the 2 of them go really, really nicely, and I will show you the result. Sorry about the light, but I thought it's better to come and talk to you today, because otherwise I won't be able to do it till Sunday, and then we're getting far behind again. So this is a triangular shawl. It's a right angle triangle, and you've got like an I-cord type edge on one side. You've got this pattern, and there are 2 versions. You can either have this pattern which has not got a single cable in it all over, or as I'm doing, and I've just started that bit, finished, you end up having a pattern at the bottom and garter along. So what will happen is this garter will grow and the pattern will continue along the bottom. So that is the bottom of the shawl, and I'm working merrily along on here. So it's nice. I like the texture. I'm hoping it's going to be big enough that I don't have to aggressively block it to take all the texture out. It's on 4.5, I think, needles. Yeah, 4.5 needles. I think it's a DK weight shawl. So the Dohne, and I'll put the details on the screen. It's quite an easy, it's charted, it's quite it's not too difficult, although I am having to get back into it, if you know what I mean, because I've left it for so long, since January, since I picked it up. Luckily I'd stopped at a sensible place, and unlike the Odette, where I started again, this one, you know, I'm just sticking to the pattern because it's a shawl. And I will say that yesterday, or the day before when I picked it up, I started knitting the lace, and I thought, oh, this is lovely. This makes sense to me. I love knitting lace, especially where you don't have one row where you've decreased more or increased more and then another row to compensate. If it's all logical and your yarn overs and your decreases, etc., or your knit forwards and backs or whatever they are, your increases and decreases match, that makes a lot of sense in my head. I'm very logical like that, and I find it really, really relaxing. So yes, I'm hopefully going to get that finished, and hopefully I've got enough wool to finish it, you know, to make it a decent size. I'm not sure. Now I've got I'm keeping it in this. I've got these from Wilko. They act as a yarn bowl because my yarn bowl has got other things in it. One of them hasn't got yarn in it, of course. Now what I did, I thought I was being really clever. When I took my V-neck boxy down, which was sock yarn and Kidsilk, I kept them together, and then I separated. I thought this is silly because I can knit it up again, and I like the fabric, so I thought what I'll do is I'll wind a ball of the Kidsilk and the first ball of the Quack Yarn together, and they will work nicely, and I can just knit them. But what I found was, when I came back to it, and I don't know if I can't remember having this problem when I was doing the first couple of charts on here before you get to the garter bit, but I was finding that I was using more BFL than I was using mohair. Now I know that doesn't make sense, but I think it must be to do with the way they rub together as you're knitting them. So yesterday and the night before, I'd probably spent nearly 2 hours separating them. But already it's proved worth the time and effort to do that, because I am zipping along now and I've got a much smaller ball of wool on both hands than I had at the beginning of yesterday afternoon. So yes, it's lovely and squishy. Lovely and squishy. Because that's the texture, isn't it? The bounce that you've got. And I think it's a shame to block all of that out, really. And then we'll have a look at my Odette chum. Now then, this is a pattern. I won't get all the other walls out because I've been through them a couple of times before. But this is the Odette pattern by Sari Norlund. And it's a basic crew with setting sleeves. So I don't think I showed you last time because I hadn't made a lot of progress. And if I remember, last time was mainly about getting the male winners announced, and I did a bit of a shorter podcast. I've actually tried this on. I put probably nearly 400 stitches on some waste wool, and I tried it on, and it needed about 2 more repeats. Oh, look at that. That's showing up nice. Actually, it's showing up a lot better than it looks in real life. Probably the light on it. But yeah, you can see there's actually 5 colours in there. And when I got time to go in the loft, I might have said this last time because you know I'm good at repeating myself. I found the other colour that I'd bought originally to go with the mohair, which is the Hydrangea Aspera colour. I said that the dark pink in here was the Hydrangea Aspera, and it isn't. It's paler than that. So yeah. So you've got a mustard and then a speckled pink, which is most of them are Botanical yarn. She doesn't seem to be doing these colours anymore, but I don't know whether she would if you asked her. This is a speckled one from Yarnworthy. Then there's a plain grey, the Hydrangea Aspera, which is a darker pink, which has got speckles in, mustard and darker speckles, and then the speckled grey. And they were all the same. They were all part of the same fade set. Well, not fade set, but sets she'd done in minis. and apart from the Yarnworthy, and that just happened to fit in really well. And when I tried it on, I thought it looked quite nice as a vest, actually, because I was a bit worried. I don't like high necks. I mean, this is about as high as I want to go. And it's funny because I was watching somebody who's also made a City Limits, and she said which is what this is, one of my house jumpers, and she thought that the neck was a bit high, but I don't find it so. Maybe it's the different sizes I've knitted, because I've knitted a bigger size that she'd done. So yeah, I got a bit worried about running out of wool, as I always do, but I weighed the mustard and I had 62 grams left, and I want to do 2 more repeats, so I'm thinking I should have more than enough. If every one of them is about 50 grams and I've got 5 colours, that's 250. Well, that would make a lot of people a sweater. Oh, I just get... And because it's set in sleeves, I'm going to do the raglan bit. I've only just got to do the physical sleeve length. But I do want it to be long sleeved. So yeah, I'm really pleased about that. If I can, I'm going to do I'll leave it. I'll put it on hold to do the rib, because I might do the rib in one colour if I've got enough at the end. And I don't mind then if I do the rib on the cuffs a different colour, so I can make my yarn, what's left of my yarn, match. And the other thing is, if I run out of the silk mohair, then I can add the grey one in that I've got just to the bottom, over the bottom of the hem and things like that. So I'm really pleased. I'm doing this at night. Since I've tried it on, I feel a lot happier about it, because I was getting worried that it might be too big, it might be too small. I think it's just right. I'm not going to call this section incoming. This section is to be called I was enabled, okay? Because I don't want to take much responsibility, which is making an excuse, isn't it? And this is the No Excuses podcast. However, I'm going to see if I can turn this up a little bit again. My light, am I brighter? I haven't really got any activity to talk about. I just waffle a bit at the end, But I went into Worcester with my mum last week, and one of the first places we went into was the little wool shop. Well, they sell fabric, quilting cotton and a bit of dress fabric. They're quite a good, they're tiny little stall in the old market hall, which is virtually empty anyway, House of Habby. And in there they've got a basket with sale stuff in. And my mum is very good. I don't bother looking quite often. I might have a glance, and I don't want to pull through. A lot of it's acrylic and things, but things I might not be interested in. But she pulled out this. It's blowing out a bit. It's darker than that. It is a nice dark red. And I meant to get it out. This is called Kid Classic by Rowan. It's lamb's wool and kid mohair. I don't know what colour it is. I don't want to open the packet, you see. I've already sellotaped it up. It was £97.50 at full price, and it's reduced, and now it was £58.50. Now there's 10 balls in there, so 500 grams, and I'd be an idiot not to buy it, wouldn't I? Because it's such a nice colour. It's going to look fabulous. I thought it might be a bit blue for me. I think oranges, the orange reds suit me a bit better, but my mother assured me that it'd look okay, and I trust her colour judgment. So yes, it's not quite that colour, not quite that blue. It's not a crimson. So yes, and it's DK. I don't know how it's going to behave, because it's what did I say it was? Lamb's wool and kid mohair. So I've no idea how it's going to behave. Well, I'm hoping it'll either become a vest or a little cardi or something, I think a vest might be nice, actually. So, yes. So that was, my mother made me buy that. And then I've bought 3 advents this year, and I've done an advent swap with Sal in Wales. Two of my advents from Indie Dyers had arrived for my birthday, and I'd already decided that one of them I was going to open for my birthday. And I opened a discreet unicorn, Miriam, and she works very close to where Tom used to live in Lee, near Wigan. So I knew what to expect, and I opened those, sent photos to Sal, and I then bought the Coming Together cardigan by Spin Mama, because that was designed to work with DK Advents. So the discreet unicorn, I'm not going to say any more about the colours or anything, just to say that I bought the 25 20-gram minis in Sparkle DK. Okay, so they're different colours. And if you know anything about Miriam's favourite tones, etc., you will know what to expect. Now, I realised afterwards, after I bought this pattern for about £6, I don't resent it really, but I could have used the baseline pattern, because that's DK. I don't think. Anyway, Miriam I follow her on Instagram, and she did a bit of a live the other day, and I watched it, and she'd been given, she'd got a beautiful jacket on that was a vintage find from somebody else who works in the same mill as her. It's like, I think it's an old mill house or an industrial estate, but there's a lot of mills up there, or because it's Lancashire, that was. And she, Miriam had on a beautiful little scarf. I think it was a Sophie scarf, was it? Anyway, it was knitted by Susan Castle, and Susan watches the podcast. Hello, Susan. And I saw it, and she'd mixed King Cole Galaxy, which I'd used a lot of a few years ago, with a beautiful pink, which had a subtle variation, tonal pink, and the pink of the Galaxy, and it looked beautiful. And I thought, I want some of that. Not the same colour, but I figured that I got, like, the wool that I've got in the Advent, I thought about making a sparkly jumper or sparkly cardigan for Christmas, as if I'd knit it up in time, right. But I wanted to add a bit more to it, and the Galaxy is actually a DK as well. So what I thought, sorry, I'm not going to be in the same place twice. Sorry if this episode makes you feel a bit sick. I'll cut out all the bits when I'm moving, so you won't have to see me going. So I found King Cole Galaxy now. Well, I don't know whether it's been discontinued. It doesn't say that on the King Cole website, but Wool Warehouse hasn't got very much. I prefer to use them because I like to. They're my preferred big wool supplier, and they're not too far away from me really. Anyway, in the end, I wanted all of these, which is it's the white with, it's called Saturn. It's the white with the iridescent. They're probably just showing it up black. King Cole Galaxy. There we go, and you might be able to see them twinkling. There we go. I had to go to the Knitting Network for these because they didn't have any of the white. They had one called Diamond. No, I don't know what I'm talking about. Take the notice. It's got different coloured sequins in, but I wanted just the iridescent sequins. And I bought that one, as you do, because these are going to go in with the colours of the cardigan, I think. A lot duller than the cardigan. And then there's that one, which is gorgeous, isn't it? I mean, I couldn't wear that. That would not suit me. That's far too blue. But with something else, though, that would work fine. So I'm either going to put them in the shawl, or no, I'm going to do what I bought them for, which is to put them in with my Christmas sparkly jumper. So the yarn's got stellina in it, and the Advent yarn's got stellina in it, and these have got sequins in. Hooray! Then I wanted free postage from Knitting Network, so I bought this Papatia Angora Batik. This is annoying me how it's showing up the wrong way around. I bought 2 of these because it reminded me of the wool that I've seen Leslie show on Not Quite Enough Yarn. Now this says Angora on the front. It's not got any Angora in it. It's merino wool. It's got mulesing free. That's good. This is colour 60, so it's got a beigey brown and reds and things in it. It's blowing out a little bit. A bit of pink and dark brown that side. It's 100 grams. You get 550 metres. 20% merino wool and 80% acrylic. So not too bad. I mean, Mum might want a hat out of this, mightn't you, Mum? It's fluffy-ish. It's like mimicking mohair, if you like. But I do think they could be done. It's called Angora. Is that against the Trade Description Act? Because it sort of implies it's got Angora in it. Not I did think about that till I got it. I wasn't looking for Angora. Anyway, it says use a turkey. I'm just looking for the needle size. I think it was sold as a DK. It says it's size 2, 3.5. So 24 stitches. 4 ply. 4. Well, yeah. It'll be what I make it be, to be honest. So yeah. So I bought 2 of those, and because they were quite cheap, and I thought I'll try it. So that was from the Knitting Network. I'm hiding a bit. I've been collecting some DK merino, 100% merino superwash for a while now to do a blanket, and you can stop sniggering when I say this, I am not going to buy any wool next year apart from wool shows or something to finish things off, you know, the usual stuff. I can't, because I'm sinking, and I've got beautiful yarn, but you know, that buying, I don't know whether to give myself a small allowance or just to try very hard not to knit. And I'm finding actually the 12 cast-ons, because I'm really a monogamous knitter most of the time, that the 12 cast-ons are giving me something else to dip into because it's already started. So maybe that's working in my favour. So I've been looking at merino. I thought, All Warehouse introduced their new Yarnsmiths merino DK, and it was on offer. It was about £2 off. I think it was like £2.99 each for 50 grams. So I bought 2 lime green, 2 purple, 2 orange, and 2 other green, grass green. There you go. Oh, sorry. Don't tell lies, Anne. 2 turquoise. I'm not going to get them out. But actually I haven't even felt them. I've only just taken them out the bag because I knew it was in there. Ooh, they're nice. They're very nice. So that's Yarnsmiths merino DK, 100% merino wool, 30 cool wash, and you can cool tumble it as well. That's lovely. I don't know if it's still on offer. If you fancy some, they have got over 100 colours. I think all about 100 colours. And I was going for brights this time. So yes, and that's going to be alternating because the other merino I've got is variegated and or speckled. So I'm thinking of either a spike stitch or a linen stitch. I don't know, I'm not sure yet. I've seen some really pretty or Tunisian, if I ever get around to that. Yeah, maybe, why not? Why not? So I'd recommend that. I recommend that from the field. It's gorgeous and it's really good on price point. I don't know about pilling, because if it's going to be a blanket, I don't really mind. But, and I'll take that out actually. I bought an awl for my, pointy tool for using with my sewing machine. Just that'll come out. Give it a good tug. Oh, it's pretty strong still. Here we go. Recycling. My book to go in the wardrobe. I'm going to photograph these probably in the morning now because it's getting dark, and put them on my schedule on my phone, on my Google Notes, so I know where they are in the wardrobe. I'm losing all track of I don't know what. So no more. I'm going to the Christmas Wall Show, remember, and we will see what happens there. There's a couple of people I want to go and visit, obviously Attic Spin Dye, hoping I can get a coffee with Ange again, and I'm sure I saw that Eden Cottage Yarns were going to be there. Very lush. So that's my incoming, I think. Let me just have a look. So as I say, I was enabled by Susan and my mother, because I don't want to take any responsibility for my stupid madness at acquiring all this stuff. Okay, so I think that's going to be almost wrap it up. I just have a bit of a chat about not been out much. Been making the bags. I went to Worcester with Mum. What did we do? Yeah, we went into House of Happy and we had a cup of coffee, and I had a hot chocolate because I'd not eaten anything at that point, in Cafe Nero, and then we had a good look round. Well, we didn't really. I mean, we went into M&S. I got a bit of food, gift food and things as well. I got a pizza for our tea that was reduced, which is always a good idea. And then we had a look in Primark. Mum was looking for a cardigan, maybe, for her next door neighbour for Christmas. Went into the Body Shop, and I love their Oils of Life stuff, but I've got so much cream to put on my face that I don't need to buy anything at the moment. Yeah, we had a nice day. So upcoming now, I'm seeing I'm going to say Peggy and Manny. I mean Maggie and Penny. Oh dear, is that spoonerism? Early next week, seeing my mum tomorrow, and then on Thursday, I think it is, evening, late afternoon, I've got a meal at the Neville Arms at the end of, on the way to Ulster from here, with Wendy and Amanda that I used to work with, and then following on from that, I've got various 1 or 2 activities a week, which I think thinking about them is worse than doing it and going it. I did go for a meal last week with my friends, my school friends, Liz and Elaine. I put a photograph, I think I put one on Instagram, and we had a nice meal at Miller and Carter. I'm a bit critical of Miller and Carter because I think their prices are stupid, some of them. When we went for a meal last Christmas, the steaks were like nearly £30. I just think that's mad when you can get a fairly decent steak for about £8 for M&S and cheaper than that. And some of them that we've had, the range steaks we've had from Morrison's, have been really good value and they've been lovely, most of them. Just get the odd one that doesn't taste of anything, but most of them have been lovely. Anyway, I had a free glass of fizz because we'd signed up to their website, and then I had steak, and I swapped out that wedge of icebergs that they give you, which probably make me burp like mad, for some garlic mushrooms and half a tomato, which I didn't eat because it didn't look very ripe. But the chips and that and the steak was lovely. I must admit, I'd had it medium well done to medium. It was a lump, I think. And that was delicious, really, really nice. And they give you that onion loaf thing, deep fried onions, basically. And of course, that was nice. I had mine with peppercorn sauce. Elaine had the same as me, but she had new potatoes instead of fries. Elaine had a lovely lemon, like a lemon pie for afters with a raspberry coulis, I think. And then I had, what did I have? Tiramisu. And Liz ordered this pie thing, chocolate pie thing. And I'd said it before, I didn't mean to criticise her at all. I went, that's for 2 people. I mean, she's Gozzy, remember? And she went, oh, I'm sorry. She said, I didn't realise, And the woman said, it's not that big. And it was a weird thing. It was on a pastry base with chocolate in the middle and then like a meringue on top, then something else on top of that. I tried a bit of it, but I didn't think it tasted of anything after eating my tiramisu. But she managed to eat it. She had ribs as well, a rack of ribs. And of course, we heard all about Australia and New Zealand because Liz had just got back from there. And that's really my only activity. I went out twice that week for a meal. And that was our early Christmas meal, and then to Worcester. And apart from that, not done much, but I will be doing things, mainly meals, in the near future. So I'll let you know how I get on, and of course I'll always like to tell you what I've eaten, because I'm food obsessed. Tonight we have got a roast chicken dinner with parsnips, our carrot, Tom's pulled out, and tender stem broccoli, because I've gone a bit mad on that. I prefer it to broccoli now. Carrots, broccoli, parsnips, maybe a little bit of potato, otherwise I'll run out of stuff, and then a bit of chicken on the side. Tom roasted chicken when he got home from shopping yesterday. We have had snow. We had about 2 inches of snow overnight, Monday to Tuesday, and it's nearly all gone. There's still some on the lawn where the sun hasn't been, still some on top of the car, because on Tuesday night it froze solid. But the roads have been clear throughout by us anyway, so and the pavements have been fine. So it hasn't. This country goes a bit mad, but it did stop me from going down to Dunelm and M&S that I wanted to do, because I wanted to get. We've got a 4.5 tog quilt on our bed, and I wanted to get a 7.5 because I bought a 10.5, and that's too heavy for me to cope with. And I'm not exactly cold, but I'd like to be a bit warmer. So I was going to go and buy one from Dunelm, but I've noticed that Amazon Prime have got them. And as much as I want to go down to Dunelm, I'm not prepared to go and fight for a parking space at the weekend. And I want to go to M&S Food while I'm down there. So I'm going to order off Amazon, but it is made in Britain, a Slumber Down one or a Silent Night one. I haven't decided which. One comes with 2 pillows that are £1 each, and the other one doesn't, but one's got higher ratings than the other one, but they've both got very good ratings. So you just don't know what to do if you can't have a feel. And on that note of having a feel of my quilt, I'm going to love you and leave you. Let me know what you've been up to. Sorry if I'm squinting. I left my glasses next door, shut myself in the room so you can't hear Tom wandering about on his computer. But I can feel myself. I have to sit far away, from this little screen on my new camera to fit everything in. But I can't see myself. I can only vaguely see myself. So I got my other glasses. The same prescription, but I don't wear them very often. Perhaps I should. So I'm probably going like this all the time. But I know that you're very forgiving, aren't you? Because you wouldn't be here if you wasn't. Thank you so much for joining me. I really do enjoy podcasting, and the only reason why I don't do it more often is because I'm disorganised. Let's be organised. I love making plans, you know that. What to do in 25? Well, I've got some aims, let's just say that. I will speak to you hopefully in about a fortnight's time. I should make a promise, shouldn't I? But it's not a promise if it gets broken all the time, is it? So take care. I hope you're safe and warm and well. Let me know what you've been making, what you want to make, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care. Bye.